When we think about the fight for justice in Puerto Rican and Latino communities, one name that stands out is Juan Gonzalez. He's a man who went from being a bold activist in the streets to a respected journalist, using his words to fight for the truth. This is the story of Juan Gonzalez, his early life, his time with the Young Lords, the struggles he faced, and how he continues to make a difference today. Juan Gonzalez was born in 1947 in Ponce, Puerto Rico, but his family moved to East Harlem, New York City when he was very young. Like many Puerto Rican families, they moved to the U.S. in search of a better life. Juan grew up in a working-class neighborhood where he saw firsthand the struggles faced by poor and minority communities. His parents believed in the power of education, and Juan was a bright student. He attended Columbia University, one of the top schools in the country. But even though he was in an elite university, Juan never forgot where he came from. He saw how racism and inequality affected people of color, especially Puerto Ricans and African Americans. In the late 1960s, during the height of the civil rights movement, Juan Gonzalez joined the Young Lords Party, a Puerto Rican activist group inspired by the Black Panther Party. The Young Lords started in Chicago, but quickly spread to New York City, where Juan became one of its key leaders. The Young Lords fought for basic human rights, things like better housing, clean streets, healthcare, and education for Puerto Rican and Latino communities. They believed that poor people deserved the same respect and opportunities as everyone else. Juan was known for being a strong organizer and a powerful speaker. One of the Young Lords' most famous actions was the garbage offensive in East Harlem. The city wasn't collecting trash regularly in Puerto Rican neighborhoods, so garbage piled up everywhere. The Young Lords decided to clean up the mess themselves, and when the city still ignored them, they piled the garbage in the streets and set it on fire to get attention. This bold move forced the city to take action. Juan helped lead protests, organize community programs, and fight against police brutality. He wasn't afraid to stand up to powerful people, but being an activist wasn't easy. He and other members faced arrests, threats, and constant pressure from the government. Juan faced many challenges in his fight for justice. The government saw groups like the Young Lords as a threat. The FBI kept secret files on them, and many leaders were watched, harassed, or even arrested. But Juan didn't give up. He believed that the fight for justice wasn't just about protests. It was also about controlling the message. That's why, after leaving the Young Lords in the 1970s, Juan became a journalist. He wanted to tell the stories that mainstream media ignored. Juan Gonzalez went on to have an incredible career as a journalist. He became a reporter for the New York Daily News, one of the biggest newspapers in the city. Unlike many reporters, Juan focused on stories about poor communities, immigrants, and people who didn't have a voice in the media. He wasn't afraid to speak the truth, even when it made powerful people uncomfortable. His investigative work exposed government corruption, corporate greed, and social injustice. Juan won many awards for his reporting because he never stopped fighting for what's right. Today, he's also known for being a co-host on the independent news program Democracy Now!, where he continues to speak out on important issues. He's written books, including Harvest of Empire, which tells the history of Latino immigrants in the United States. This book was even turned into a documentary film. Juan Gonzalez's story teaches us that the fight for justice doesn't have to stay in the streets. It can happen anywhere. Whether you're protesting, organizing in your community, or writing articles to expose the truth, your voice matters. Here's a powerful quote from Juan that sums up his mission. We must tell our own stories because no one else will tell them truthfully. His life proves that you don't have to be rich or famous to make a difference. All you need is courage, determination, and a commitment to the truth. What do you think about Juan Gonzalez's journey from activist to journalist? Like, comment, and subscribe to Every Bori for more stories about Puerto Ricans who change the world.